Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Nick Ball successfully defends his WBA featherweight title against longtime contender Ronny Rios. He stops Ronny Rios in the 10th round in what was an entertaining one-sided fight. That's how I would describe this bout. An entertaining one-sided affair. Ronny Rios very tough, showed bravery, showed good durability, showed a willingness to win. This was a homecoming for Nick Ball after beating Raymond Ford and winning that WBA title. And sometimes when you get these sort of fights, you know when a guy wins a world title who's not really expected to? Sometimes they'll have a fight against a complete cream puff who doesn't put up any resistance. I will give Ronny Rios credit. He came to fight, he came to win. That wasn't the case in this fight. You know, Ronny Rios actually came to win. And again, Ronny Rios has been a contender for many, many years at this point. But yeah, Nick Ball was ultimately too fresh. He was too strong, he was too active, he was too powerful. And ultimately, he just overwhelmed Ronny Rios in this fight. Nick Ball came out in this fight like a bat out of hell, with that swarming, smothering style, cutting the ring off extremely quickly, getting close to Ronny Rios, jabbing his way in, you know, really working that body, coming over the top with the overhand right, spamming the uppercut, the right uppercut through the middle. He was really a buzzsaw in the first sort of 3-4 rounds of this fight. He actually dropped Ronny Rios in the third round. He threw a combination that culminated in a left hook, bang on the chin. It drops Ronny Rios hard. He's hurt. He's getting pasted. He's getting battered. Ronny Rios beats the count. Nick Ball jumps all over him, and it's all one-way traffic. Nick Ball is just having a field day, closing the distance, getting on the inside, working away, and he's beating the absolute piss out of Ronny Rios in round 3. Rios is just trying to hold shape. He's trying to be compact, he's trying to soak up what's coming at him, but he's soaking up a lot of shots. Referee has a close look, but Ronny Rios gets through round 3. Round 4 was a little more circumspect from Nick Ball. He was fighting more in bursts, maybe conserving his energy a little more. And by the way, by this point, while Nick Ball was dominating the first sort of 3 rounds or so, Ronny Rios would still get through with shots, some good body shots, some okay jabs, things like that. And he actually bust Nick Ball's nose in like the second round in this fight. Nick Ball's nose was bleeding throughout this fight. But yeah, round 4, Nick Ball was a little less active, and that gave Ronny Rios a chance to get a foothold back in the fight, landed a few jabs from the outside, landed some good body shots, and round 4 was a better round for Rios. I still felt he lost for round, but a better round. Round 5 though, I felt Rios had a really good round. Really catching Nick Ball on the outside with some good shots. Again, maintaining that body attack, which was Rios's best tactic, I would say, in this bout. You know, considering the aggression, considering the work rate of Nick Ball. I felt Rios's decision to go to the body in this fight was smart. Round 5, you know, he got some really good body work off. Ultimately, it wouldn't prove to be fruitful in the end, but it was the right idea. I felt round 5 was a really good round for Ronny Rios. Felt he won the round. After round 5, Nick Ball kind of round by round swapped from that all-out pressure style to more of a burst fighter. When he was the pressure guy, when he really turned up that pace, Ronny Rios couldn't really live with him. Because when he tried to fire back, he was just getting caught. But when he was shelling up, he was getting outworked, you know? So he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. But when Nick Ball's output dropped, that's when you saw the veteran sort of style of Ronny Rios, firing those crooked shots around the side of Nick Ball, firing to the body, landing some jabs here and there. You know, he was navigating his way through the rounds. But in round 7, you saw the difference when Nick Ball really upped the pace. He came out in round 7 really aggressive, dropped Ronny Rios quite early with a left hook, I believe it was, quick left hook. Ronny Rios wasn't really hurt on the second knockdown, to be honest. But he got dropped, he gets up, he beats the count. Then Nick Ball sets about him. He lands some very good left hooks to the head, following up with uppercuts. You know, he was doubling up the uppercuts. He was tripling the uppercuts at times. Even coming in with the 1-2. The jab was looking heavy. You know, dominant round from Nick Ball in round 7. Round 8 was more circumspect after round 7. You know, when Rios got dropped, Nick Ball put a lot of effort into round 7, whereas Rios took a lot of punishment. Nick Ball kind of held back. Rios was kind of circumspect. Nick Ball was still fighting in that burst type of style. Outworked Ronny Rios. But a better round for Rios, I'd say, considering the fight so far. Round 9 was another good round for Rios, though. Ball came out pretty aggressive, but I felt in round 9, Ronny Rios found a home for his right hand to the body. Also started to actually try to use his height and reach, landing the 1-2 from the outside. Good boxing by Ronny Rios in round 9. I felt he landed the better shots. I felt he dictated the distance. I felt he dictated the pace. Nick Ball had a couple of flurries, but I felt Ronny Rios won round 9. Second round I gave him. And, you know, round 10 was where the fight ended. Once again, Nick Ball comes out fast. Lands some combinations from the outside. 1-2s, 1-2-1s. Rios tries to fire back. But Ball does a good job in round 10 of firing power shots from the outside to kind of maneuver Rios onto the ropes into the corner. Ball then lands a very good 1-2, sends Rios back to the ropes, and eventually Rios goes through the ropes. He crawls under the ropes, he gets back up, but he looks out on his feet. Dazed, confused, looks like he woke up from a weekend-long fucking bender, to be honest with you. And yeah, the corner jumps in, throws the towel in, and I think that was the right decision. Pretty dominant performance by Nick Ball. Ronny Rios, though, have to say, came to give it a go. Actually tried to win the fight. Gave Nick Ball some trouble here and there. Bust his nose up. Won a couple of rounds. You know, Rios is a tough guy. Like I said, he's been a perennial contender for a long, long time. Never been the sort of guy who is world class, but he's a good fighter. He's a tough guy, good chin, durable, experienced, tricky, you know, good fighter, but he was just overwhelmed tonight. I felt you saw some of Nick Ball's fragilities defensively. You know, certainly can be caught from the outside coming in, especially as the fight goes on. Also, you know, I feel sometimes Nick Ball has to change things up. Yeah, he's very aggressive. Yeah, it's very frenzied, but for a smart fighter who has composure, you know, he does kind of do the same thing over and over and over again. He throws his combinations and his punches in general, all with 100% power. He doesn't vary the power up in his combinations. I'd like to see some more variety in the combinations, not in terms of punch picking, but in terms of power and in terms of how he throws the shots with speed. You know, alternate the speed, alternate the power, things like that. Also, level changes. He's a short guy. I think he should be using that more to defend himself while he's coming in. More head movement. And even more feints as well, trying to draw the lead, trying to make your opponent fall in to then set about him, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about Nick Ball. For me, he's one of the most entertaining fighters in the UK. In fact, he fights more like a Mexican than he does like a UK fighter. But he's very entertaining. He's explosive. He's powerful. He's strong. He's got good stamina. There's a lot to like about Nick Ball. But from a technical perspective, I do still think there is improvements to be made. And I think he's got the ability, dexterity, and athleticism to do it. Just in regards to things like level changes and a bit more, just to be a bit more tight defensively, things like that. A few more feints here and there. A bit more variety with his combinations in terms of power. But overall, decent performance by Nick Ball, and you know, WBA featherweight champion. He's got some great options available. I mean, I'd like to see a unification fight personally. Angelo Leo is a good fight right now. Angelo Leo just beat Luis Alberto Lopez for the IBF featherweight title. I think Nick Ball versus Angelo Leo would be a great fight. Nick Ball versus Rafael Espinoza. Another excellent fight. Espinoza is the WBO featherweight champion. Big featherweight as well. He's 6'1". Massive featherweight. There's some good fights for Nick Ball at featherweight. You know, some very good fights for him. A Ray Vargas rematch even. I mean, I wouldn't even be upset at that fight either. But yeah, Nick Ball is a very good fighter. Tough guy. Relentless power. You know, stamina. He's got a lot going for him, but we'll see what he does next. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.